Hello and welcome to Motors for the Masses, and I am here at Moonraker Motorcycles in Norwich, and I've got this today. Now what is it? Well, let's roll the intro, get cracking, and we'll find out. Okay, it's not that difficult to work out simply because it says it in the title that it's a Voge DS900X. However, it's not quite as simple as that. It is a 900, but it is one hell of a machine. Let's take a closer look at it. Now with this, Voge have clearly set their sights on the likes of BMW, Triumph, CF Moto and Honda, and even Suzuki. These are set to go up with the big boys. And I think you'll be surprised as to what you get just for how much it isn't. So what we have in here is an 895cc, 270-degree crank, parallel twin 8-valve double overhead cam engine, which develops 95 brake horsepower and 70 pounds-foot of torque. Now what's interesting about this engine is that they use this in the older BMW F850, so it's a tried and tested Longshin engine that they've used for a long time in the BMWs. So you know it works, and you know it works well. Even though it's difficult to see, it comes with a slipper clutch and a quick shift as well. But it actually has 4 ride modes, so you do have, if you flick through the menu, you've got rain mode, sport mode, economy mode, and once you've turned the ABS off, you also get enduro mode. It has keyless start, it has tyre pressure monitors, it has cruise control, and it has radar, which come on when something is passing you. That's blind spot detection to you and me. You get heated grips, you get handguards, and you get a heated seat. Now as the wire goes to the middle of the seat and it's all one seat, that means the rider and the passenger have a warm bum as well. That's not something you get with the likes of Triumph. You have 2 separate seats and 2 separate heating controls if you want that one or that one heated. And the throttle is ride-by-wire too. You also get a front-facing 1080p camera and a button on the right-hand switchgear so you can take a photograph. Which means it's not only for catching impending bellendery. If you're going through the likes of Scotland or the Austrian Alps or something like that and you want to take a photograph, you don't have to pull over to the side of the road, get your phone out and take a quick snap. You can literally just point in that direction, take a snap and carry on. You can even do it whilst you're riding. That's fantastic. It's literally there. So you can just go, oh look at that mountain, oh look at that valley, oh look at that. I love that. Nice little attention to detail there. You get a USB port, which has a USB-C and a standard USB plug, as well as a 12-volt socket plug. You get fully adjustable KYB front forks, and a nice chunky KYB monoshock on the rear. A fully stainless steel exhaust. Twin 320mm front discs with Brembo double piston calipers, and a 265mm rear disc with a Brembo single piston caliper. And the switchable ABS is through Bosch. You get a 21-inch front wheel and a 17-inch rear wheel, tubeless Pirelli Scorpion Trail 2 tyres, a 90 on the front and a 150 on the rear. You get a 17-litre fuel tank. You get a side stand and a centre stand, and I'll show you what it's like to put on the stand in a minute. You get crash bars. You get auxiliary spotlights. Hidden under here is a steering dampener. And you get these 3 aluminium lined boxes, which are actually pretty sizable. And they're nicely lined as well. There's like a fur line in there. Really nice design. Velcroed in. I like that. That's a really good design, that. Really good quality. I mean, that obviously is smaller, but you've kept the balance of the weight of the boxes either side because you've got the smaller one to compensate for the exhaust there. However, they are a really good size. Really good size in there. Really, really nice. I like the handles on here as well, so you can easily carry them. That is, a great thought. I can't believe you get them as standard in the price. And this main top box will fit a full-size helmet. Now the bike weighs in at 220 kilos, and that does sound a little bit heavy on paper, but not when you consider it's a 900cc engine. Now to put it on the centre stand, It's not too bad. A little bit fiddly to get your foot under it, and I'll show you this in a second, but no real problem to get it on as long as you know how to put a bike on a centre stand. Getting it off again is quite straightforward. You just launch it forward, no problem at all. It's not actually that bad. Yes, it is a little bit weighty, but it's a 900cc, and when I consider my Triumph Explorer, getting that on and off the stand, that was weighty, and I always had that, ooh, is it going to go that way? But yeah, it's not that bad. Now let me show you the only thing I found so far that I don't like about this bike. The only thing so far that has made me go, and that is this. The centre stand peg is under the rear foot peg hanger. So to get your foot on it, you just got to go and then do that. It's not that bad. It certainly doesn't put me off. But, and to be fair, I've noticed that on quite a few bikes before. I mean, the only way to get around that is to extend this out a bit longer to about here maybe, but then it'd look ridiculous. So yeah, I can see what they've done, and I can see that what they've had to do. It's certainly not off-putting of the bike, certainly not at all. It is a great looking machine, and if we turn on the lights, we'll see their LED. I like these as well, that they're encased in the tinted plastic perspex there. Really nice quality, they feel good. Oh, this as well is adjustable. Literally just like that, just pull it up and push it down, which you can do whilst you're riding. That is really simple. I really like that. So just before I show you the lights and things, let's have a listen to it. Ooh. That's that 270-degree crank giving it that nice throaty V-twin sound. Stainless steel exhaust, which hasn't been coked up yet, so it's got a bit of a hollow burble to it, but that sounds really nice. Really impressive, that. I like these grips as well. These grips are nice and soft. They are heated, as I said, heated grips, but they are really soft and nice and grippy. When I say that, I've had grips where they feel a bit slippery in your hands. These feel really nice. Sounds substantial. Really got some beef to it, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. Oh, I like that a lot. Really do like that. Oh, I can feel, I think the heated seats on. Oh, that's so soft as well. I'm looking forward to sitting on this. I haven't sat on it yet. So now it's running. Let's have a look at the lights. You've got your auxiliary lights down here, your main lights here, your main beam there, flash, and your indicators. Let's put hazard flashes on, so you've got both on. See, nice bright LED lights. On my way around to the back, let me show you. You've got a cruise control setting here, your heated grips and your heated seat buttons there. And then a nice strip of LED at the back there with a nice bright brake light. Now comes the best part. This bike, with everything as you see here, as standard, is £9,199 on the road. On the road. So with tax, registered, with a number plate, ready to go. £9,199. Now what I'm going to put up here is how that compares to its rivals. Now unfortunately I can't ride this bike, and there's a very good reason why, and that is because they had one in as ready to put on as a demo and they sold it. They got another one in, sold that. They got this one in, sold this one too. So unfortunately I can't ride this yet. However, I have spoken to MotoGB and I've said, look, I want to take one away for a weekend. I want to do a journey on one, and they said let me sort one out. So I've got one coming that I can take away for a few days and do a proper review on, take away, fully loaded, and see how it fares that way. So I'm not too bothered about not being able to ride it today, but I will be riding it very, very soon. Now the highlights for me are, I love this 7-inch TFT screen. I like how neatly laid out it is. It reminds me very much of Benelli or CF Moto. Really nicely laid out, really good quality feel. Nothing on this bike at all feels cheap and nasty. The only niggle, and it is a niggle, is having to move your foot to get it onto the centre stand. That's it. And to be honest, the only way they can get around that, because you've got the boxes on and you've got to have the rear foot pegs on, the only way to get round that is to have it slightly sticking out further. But then you've got a massive one. And that's one thing I didn't like on my Triumph Explorer. I had a massive one on that. Easy to put on a centre stand, but it got in the way. And a couple of times I've caught my ankles on it. Now what I am going to do is get on it. Now remember, I am 5'10½", 31.5 inch inside leg, and I'm not wearing bike boots. I am wearing normal trainers. So, easy to get on. Doesn't feel very heavy actually. Now I am, bearing in mind I'm not wearing bike boots either. I am flat-footed here. 825mm seat height, but it doesn't feel big at all. It doesn't feel too high in any way whatsoever. It doesn't feel out of proportion. It feels light enough to move around, and I haven't even ridden it yet. Feet up on the pedal there, knees nicely tucked in, good reach on the handlebars, great visibility out of the mirrors so far, but obviously I'm not riding, but like that I've got 95% visibility from here. That's pretty impressive. It feels really substantial, but it doesn't feel cumbersome. And again, I refer to my Triumph Explorer. I love that bike, rode brilliantly, but it felt cumbersome. And I wasn't scared of it, but you're a little bit weary of it. And I don't get that with this. I don't get any of the weariness. Now, some of you might say, well, why are they launching the bike in September? Well, there's a very good reason for that. And I think that's because adventure bikes don't really have a season, do they? You know, I mean, it's been proven that Paul at Moonrakers here got one in to try out, and it sold straight away. So we got another one in, hoping to get it on as a demo for me, and it sold straight away. And then they got this one in, and it's sold already. This one, that's why it's got this this plug here. You don't get that as standard. That is for the battery charge, because it's prepared, ready for a customer. So every time they get one in, they sell it. And MotoGP haven't quite got enough now. So they have got a fleet of press bikes, and they're arranging to get one out to me, as I say, so I can take one out quite soon. But at the moment, I can't wait to take this away. I don't feel ashamed or embarrassed by it. I mean, I know Voge are an unknown, but look at the quality that they're putting into this bike. I know that you can't judge a bike by the quality based on one ride or a few days. I get that. Longevity is what's going to tell. But from the way it's put together, I can't see there being many issues yet. I don't want to preempt anything, but it just looks a really well thought out, put together, planned bike. And the fact they can do it for not only under 10 grand, but just over £9,000, when the competitors are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 grand more, with the boxes and all this equipment you get. He's not doing 30. This to me is a bit of a no-brainer. I tell you what, this is going to shake up the likes of BMW. Well, maybe not BMW, because they've got their engine in here, or Longines have so. But the likes of Triumph, CF Moto with their 800MT, that is a brilliant bike. But they should be worried for the likes of Voge. I can see these being big players if they're coming through with bikes like this. Pretty impressive. And that is all I've got for this episode. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll be back next time with something else. Oh, I just want to show you something else as well. Not in there. There's money in there. The key. You have got the keyless key, but you do have a spare key also. And that is because you can open the seat. The seat, there's nothing really under there to see. I mean, you open the seat quite easily. Oh, be careful not to pull it, because obviously you've got the wire here for the heated seat. You've got here a box that you can put a USB card in. That's the only thing that you need extra, a USB card for the camera, but that goes in this box here. No problem at all. That's really simple to do, but it just looks very neat and tidy under here, really well thought out. Nothing looks cheap and nasty, but you do get a key to actually use, and inside here, if you take that out, you get another spare key also. So if need be, you can still get in the bike and get to it. Now I know some electronic keyless bikes has everything, and it's all great until you have to fiddle about underneath and unhook it to get the seat off. This, they've thought about that, and you don't need to. It's just such an impressive bike. Really does look good, feels good, sounds superb, and the price is brilliant. Oh, you also do get a sump guard under there as well. Metal one also. You've got the extender on the mud guard there as well, so it does protect somewhat the exhausts. Now, looking at a lot of other bikes, they do have a sump guard that protects the exhausts. Perhaps you can get an aftermarket one in the future that can protect the exhaust a bit better if you plan on taking this off-road a lot. If it's going to be an adventure bike that you plan on doing journeys on, it's not going to be necessary. But if you're going to be taking this a lot off-road in rocky environments, like with a lot of bikes, you'll get the additional sump guard that protects the exhaust as well. Because let's be honest, bikes don't come with that usually as standard, and certainly not bikes at this price with all this stuff that you get on it. And anyway, that's all I've got, because I could go on for a long time about this. I really am pretty damn impressed. So please don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video. I'll be back next time with something else, and of course I'll be back soon with the ride video on this, where I shall be taking it away and maybe doing some camping. I will be doing some camping in a tent. Now, as I say, these bikes don't really have a season, because adventure bikes are for all year round. They're supposed to handle rain, they're supposed to handle mud, they're supposed to handle bad weather. It's not just a summer bike that you can go blasting around country roads on. These are designed for winter riding. So I'm not surprised they've sold now. Well, I am surprised, because it's an unknown. But this just proves that people are dissing now the idea that it's a Chinese bike. Let's be honest, everything you've got, you're probably watching this on your iPhone, which is also built in China, and your Samsung phone, which is maybe Korean, but it's built in China. So, you know, I've got nothing else to say. Thanks for watching. I'll be back very soon. So until next time, please ride and drive carefully, but have fun. Bye-bye.